folks, and welcome back to another Pinal Prep Spotlight brought to you by Jones Ford Buick GMC, your hometown dealer for more than 50 years. Our game of the week this week is Vista Grande girls basketball hosting El Mirage Dysart. Now, it's kind of a tale of two halves in the season for this Spartans team. Early on in the season, I was a bit concerned. I mean, yes, they graduated Jayla Scott and Emily Shedd, and I was wondering who else was going to step up and fill in those gaps that were left as far as scoring goes for the Spartans. And early on in the season, that was a concern because the Spartans struggled to get their shots down. Head coach Ryan Barrett wasn't that concerned. He understood that, hey, a lot of these newcomers had to find their footing. The team had to gel together, and that's finally coming to fruition. The Spartans are currently on a nice 5-game regular season win streak. And David, looking at this game, what do you kind of have your eye on?
Well, right now I think it's just a testament to what Barrett was willing to adapt to and kind of conform into what the season is going to be, because you can't rely on Jayla Scott and Emily Shedd anymore, and those two were the dynamite pair for this team for so long because they were a scoring duo with Shedd being more on the outside than a good 3-point shooter, and then Jayla Scott doing her thing because she was so lengthy inside and just kind of taking over the post. So, like you said, they had to find their next go-tos, and I think they found that so far with a couple girls. First off with Mia Powell, who leads the team in scoring. She's scoring 11 points a game right now. And same thing with Chelsea Down, who has 10.4 points a game. So those two are kind of the new dynamite pair for this team. And this Vista Grande team is reaping the benefits of that. They're 3-0 in conference play. They started out conference play with 3 wins, and it's a part of that 5-game win streak. And it's been proving dividends of what this team was able to kind of trust in the system. Barrett has definitely been a guy who's kind of laid back. Like you said, he wasn't really concerned about the first half struggles, but they were, they stuck with it. They stuck with their plan, and it's kind of proving themselves right at the best time when it is conference play. So they've been doing a really solid job. And I also want to give a shout out to Stephanie Trantham, who has been kind of not the scorer that they would maybe hope she was being, but she's definitely making her impact in the rebounding department. She's leading the team with 6.1 rebounds a game, and Down herself is also a really good rebounder at 5.6 rebounds a game. So this team is able to shoot. They're able to kind of get on defense and get those rebounds so they can get back on offense and score more. So now that they finally found their scoring options as well as their defensive stars, they're going to be a good team. And I think if they can keep this up and they can kind of keep trusting in that system, they're going to be a team that we're going to look at maybe not necessarily this year, but next year down the line where they could be potentials in that 4A conference. And I really like what they're doing so far.
David mentioned, looking ahead, maybe not this year, but next year. A really good thing about the Spartans team is they don't have any seniors. So, hey, these kids getting their experience and their playing time now, that's just going to help them next year. Again, mentioning the whole gelling coming together, hey, they work out all the kinks right now. They come back next year. They're going to know everything about each other, where they are on the floor. They're going to know their strengths and everything. And, hey, it's going to be a completely different season for them probably next year. Do have to point out, right now, the Spartans are currently ranked number 29. The rest of their region schedule, it's pretty weak, unfortunately, being in the 4A Black Canyon. But the thing here is if they can win out all these games, they have a very slight potential of making that playoff cut with so many teams now going into the open. The next teams that don't make it, they make it to the play-in round. So, hey, they have a possibility here, but they have to win out because a loss is going to be detrimental to their postseason aspirations. David, is there anything else you want to add?
Well, like you said, it's an uphill climb for them to possibly make it into that tournament this year. But like we talked about, the next year could be the year for them. And I think it's really important to emphasize how important it is for these young players to get this experience now and to kind of get into their own rhythm so they can have this experience and build on it for next year when they could possibly be a playoff contender. And we see that so far with this team. And I think if they continue to kind of build up those pieces and even find some even younger pieces next year to kind of fill out that roster and add depth to this team, they're going to be something that we need to watch out for. And I'm excited to what they can do so far. So if they can win out, awesome. The odds are kind of stacked against them, but don't back the Spartans into a corner because they will prove you wrong, and they certainly have in the past.
Unfortunately, we can't really preview Dysart as there are no stats on Max Prep, so that does it for our Game of the Week breakdown, sort of-ish. Be sure to tune into Pinal Central for coverage on this game as well as all of our other local games.